the statement was made that we shouldn't play politics on this floor, but I will tell you that this bill plays politics in the fact that, let me tell you that I agree with my colleague on the other side of the aisle that if it was separated out, where we could each make a vote on the issues as they are by themselves, then we could go back and argue to our constituents and say, look, this is why I did what I did. But by creating all the pieces that are on this bill, you make that either more difficult or some maybe it'll be easier, I don't know. But for someone to claim that if we don't support this, we're against people with mental illness, well, how about the fact that you closed Murray Center and you're using that money? How about, can you tell that to the families of Murray Center? Does everybody know what Murray Center is? It is a special place where families love that they can provide for that family member who has mental illness. But yet that closed down. Our corrections, as I offered up a while ago, and the danger that we're putting each guard in, and yes, even our inmates in who are not the most violent, by closing Tamms. By changing our policy and closing Murphysboro on a successful program that was actually in youth corrections was actually working, where we had a situation where when it was operating in its original form, we had a less than 17% recidivism rate, but now they fell into the 77% recidivism rate. Wow, that's been successful. But, you know, to stand on your side of the aisle and say I don't care for people with mental illness, you don't know my family, and you don't know what the things I've faced in our family. And I think that's very cold to say, oh, well, I don't care for people in the most needy situations if I don't vote for this. Don't tell me that politics isn't played on this floor, because it's being played right now. The bill itself is so political in nature because there's a few things that have been put in that the newspapers have come up with that have been mentioned in the newspapers that it's kind of strange that they're in this bill. Funding for museums, though I love museums. And they might not even be quoting it correctly, but the thing is, that's the public perception. So if you hide all this stuff in there, and then you say, but it's for the road funds. Oh, just so you know, those of you who don't know, yeah, my family owns a trucking business, have for years. My grandfather started a trucking business in 1933, and guess what? We work every day with road construction. Every day. I know the importance of those funds. But to say I'm going to just throw myself on this vote and go, oh yes, now I'm going to vote for it, with the other damages that I've seen this do, and for us not standing against the governor with his veto, folks, you're going to vote what you want to vote. But don't sit up here and point to this side of the aisle or those who vote against this and say, oh, you don't really care for the people. I will argue that everybody on this floor cares about our jobs. We do. I think this is the wrong way to do it. I think it's wrong because of the way it's all being compiled. I would have loved to have input and have an opportunity to work with you on each of these individual areas. But folks, I won't be supporting it. I know that's no surprise to you. But I would encourage each of you to weigh out what really is in the bill and whether you want to go down this path or you want to change the course of what we continue to do and have continued to do over the last several years that has continued to drive us deeper and deeper in debt. Work with us. I ask you to. But I ask you to vote no, to send a clear message so that we can come back and work together.